that we're hoping to replicate tonight is not all that. We're hoping to replicate trip to the World Series. And you know what? If it happens this way, I'm cool with whatever gray hair I get, whatever stress, heart palpitations are caused. If it's a walk-off home run by Altuve, I'm willing to relive this again.
Altuve has just sent the Astros to the World Series. It is anything but a walk-off home run because nobody's leaving. And the little guy, 5'6", 168. With the heart of a lion, sends it over the wall and left for a pennant-winning home run. Amazing.
My favorite part is the multiple cracks of the bat, because they're just replaying it.
I like how Joe Buck is so committed to not calling a home run until he's 100% sure that it's a home run, that even as he's saying it for the third time, he paused before he said home run. He said pennant-winning home run.
I saw the look on your face while we were playing that highlight. I thought it was because he mentioned Altuve's height and weight.
That was the first thing that bothered me.
Okay.
There's nothing listen, anybody, every time I complain about Joe Buck, people try to, they try to be gentle with me and say, Seth, look, everybody accuses Joe Buck of favoritism. He gets that from every fan base. No, I don't care about favoritism. He annoys me as an announcer. Him bringing up the Altuve's stature at that level. That's fine, yeah. We've heard it before, Joe Buck. We know you claim to be 6'1", all right? You don't have to bring up that Altuve is short every damn time you bring up something great that Altuve does, okay?
It was a big monster shot, though, Seth. You're trying to create that I can't. Sorry, I just can't play devil's advocate. No, you're right. Joe Buck's annoying.
No, I'm a little irked, too, because they're making a big deal out of Mighty Mouse in the game the other night. You didn't have the audio because you were at Kirby Ice House.
Yeah, I was at the
bar.
But
they made a big thing about, they get these little nuggets and they build it up into some huge thing where I can't even remember. Dusty referred to him as Mighty Mouse back at the beginning of the season once or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. They made a huge deal out of it. Like, oh, Dusty calls him Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Altuve didn't even know who Mighty Mouse was. Can you imagine that?
All right, so Joe Buck's call is one that if Joe Buck rubs you the wrong way, maybe it's not your favorite call of all time. Seth, would you like to hear that home run coming from the Yankees' perspective?
Boy, would I.
A little John Sterling action here? Let's hear it.
There'll be a 2-1 to Altuve. Swung on and hit at the end of deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone to win the series. Jose Altuve hit a 2-run home run. The Astros win 6-4, and they capture this series 4-2.
I got to give John Sterling credit on that call. It was an appropriate amount of energy for the moment, even for an opposing announcer.
I won't give him credit at all.
Why?
If I were a Yankees fan, I'd be pissed off about that.
He wasn't angry enough?
No. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize this. The radio broadcasters it's allowed, like in journalism, it's okay to be a homer when you're the radio broadcaster.
Right.
To a certain extent. You don't want it to the point where it clouds your judgment or anything. Yeah, if I were a Yankees announcer, like if Robert Ford sounded that excited about a Yankees walk-off home run, I'd kind of be like, wait, bro, what the hell?
How great would it have been if Sterling just completely embraced the gimmick and went all the way? He's like, an Altuvean blast. Altuve, Moshi Porsche Altuve. Like, he does the whole thing he does with Stanton, except with Altuve. That would be beautiful. I think you're right about that, actually. If I were a Yankee fan, I would probably, because you're right, hit is hard, hit is hard, hit is hard.
Yeah, he sounded downright ecstatic. You know what it sounded like you wanted to say? It was like, I'm sick of covering these SOBs anyway.
Probably.
It's time for my vacation.
1, 2,
I'm
3.
87 years old.
Cancun, yes, yeah. All right, how would you like to hear Jose Altuve's home run in Russian?
Oh, Russian, I certainly would, yeah.
Russian, let's hear it in Russian.
Ну и выбивает Хосе Алтуве. И что это такое? Неужели? Хоум-ран! Вот это да! Двухочковый walk-off хоум-ран у Хосе Алтуве был сейчас.
All right. So here's your Russian.
I wonder if in Russia they if they have any, for Russian baseball fans, if they have any like love for the Cuban baseball major league players, the Cuban major league players.
Yeah.
Because forever, Cuba was their man in the Western, in this hemisphere, basically.
Right.
And a lot of Cubans, that's why
That.
the Cuban first names beginning with Y, I've read a couple different theories about this, but a lot of them believe that it has to do with just the Russian influence, and especially the cosmonauts like Yuri, what's his name, and all that. They had Y names. So that unlike a lot of other Latin American countries, they have all these first names more so than in other Latin American countries that start with Y, like Yuli and Jordan, and so forth.
Yep.
So I wonder if we've got maybe we need to
maybe we're Russia's team.
Yeah, Ben, get one of our Russian baseball correspondents on the phone.
Could you
I want to talk to him about
between now and 9:53.
Yeah.
If you can make a call to the motherland. Would you like to hear it in Korean, Seth? Jose Altuve.
That's exactly. That was next on my wish list.
I knew it was.
I've got a power ranking of the 170 or so nations of the world. And when you read my mind, you know me too well. I had Russia and then Korea after that.
Right. Pig Latin. Ite Idre. All right. Here's Jose Altuve's 2019 home run in Korean.
휴스턴의 승리를 응원하고 있습니다. 왼쪽으로 높게! 알투베가 결국 휴스턴을 월드시리즈로 견인합니다. 끝내기 없는 호세 알투베. 지난 3년 동안 두 번째 월드시리즈 진출을 확정짓는 알투베의 끝내기 없는 휴스턴이 극적으로 월드시리즈에 진출합니다. 정말 이런 멋진 승부가 있군요.
Okay, we're good. We got what we needed out of it.
I like that. I don't know if I'd heard a Korean call before.
I don't think we have.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that. Well, no, remember weren't we watching Korean baseball for a little bit?
We were, but during the pandemic we were, but the announcers were, we were watching it on ESPN.
Yeah. I don't remember any of it. Sean, I'm going to do something that I love to do when I'm talking about foreign cultures and peoples, which is make a vast generalization based on one example. I love doing that.
What could possibly go wrong?
But I'm going to say the Koreans are the best at calling baseball. That was awesome. That blended, I feel like that blended, like every like Latin American call or every Spanish call with the best of John Sterling or any American announcer. And maybe a little bit of that Russian, too.
I like the way the guy said Altuve. He's like, Altuve!
Yeah.
Altuve!
That's my second favorite Korean call, other than my brother's impression of what one of the interpreters told him when he was wrestling internationally in a tournament in Korea.
That's your first?
They got drunk with their interpreter one night, and my brother said their Korean interpreter gave them like a 5-minute explanation of how Korean penis, very powerful. And I was like, I gotta hang out with this Korean guy at some point. And now it seals the deal. I've got a Korean interpreter that I never got to meet, and this Korean play-by-play.
All right, so Ben, here's what we need in the next 5 minutes between now and the end of the show. We need a Russian baseball writer, and we need a Korean urologist. Okay? If you could book both of those things, that would be tremendous. All right, let's go back to the old standby then. We'll wrap up the reliving of the Jose Altuve walk-off home run to get you ready for Game 6 tonight. The old standby, the old Spanish call.
La carrera del Gana en primera base. Altuve, el turno, Altuve la prende. ¡José Altuve, el pequeño gigante, con bachazo enorme que lo gana! ¡Esto es en la Serie Mundial!
Wow. Astros in the Series Mundial.
Okay, I take it. Yeah, nobody does it better than the Spanish broadcast.
The Spanish broadcast. Those are pretty good, though, man. You're right. The Korean one, underrated. That was, I'll do that.